the idea of revenues?
We went from 1.3 to 2 million. Then we went 2 to 2.1, and then last year we did about 2.24 million.
And how many people would like to be bringing in 2.2 million per year? Tell us a little bit more about your investments now, what you do with as you grow your money. Now you're beyond marketing, right?
Yes.
So tell us what the idea was.
For the companies to spread psychedelic and innovative healing treatments to the world.
And I've always wondered how you put together this massive marketing engine.
Yes.
And how did you do that? Got the idea, but then how did you expand it and find out who to market to and come up with a product? Hi, this is Lynn. We have our first series on young, successful entrepreneurs, and today we're talking to Scott Theaman.
Hey, how we doing?
So Scott, go ahead, dive right in. Tell us a little bit about your history, failures, successes.
Growing up, I was always pretty rebellious and did not like the rules or authority. You know, my last job was in 2012. I was misbehaved in school, getting into trouble, acting out. They say kids who do that are bored. So I tried to explain that to my parents, but they didn't want to hear it. So went to college, and I figured, you know what, they're paying for this now, so we gotta really do well and not mess around as much. And then at age 21, I was introduced to network marketing. Yeah, and so that is what sort of blew the lid off for me. It could shrink, but now you have this much capacity and this much knowledge and this much, oh wow, this is possible. So the way I got started with that is my friend Joe Brandel, shout out Joey B, he texted me and he said, yo Scott, I've got a business opportunity for you and I think you would kill it. And I said, I'm in, what is it? Not what is it, I'm in, what is it? And I honestly just felt I just felt so honored that someone would think of me to want to do that.
And you trusted him enough to know it would be something good, it sounds like.
Yeah. And so that was Vima, which is a network marketing company. And Vima is an acronym. It stands for Vitamins, Essential Minerals, Mangosteen, Aloe. This was age 21, junior year in college. The Vima, it was a liquid formula that they had just the liquid formula, they put it into energy drinks, proteins, and there was this like craze about this company, this YPR, this young people revolution, young people rising up and awakening to personal development and be your own boss and be an entrepreneur. So that's how I got my start, and that was from age 21 to about age 24.
Wow, you survived that long.
Yes.
Network marketing, because it's tough.
We actually did pretty well, and I say we, myself and our team, pretty well for a 21-year-old. The first major milestone was a rank advancement called Diamond, and when you hit Diamond, you qualify for a car that's paid for by the company. At Diamond, you're making about $1,000 a month. And then they give you a $400 allowance towards a BMW, and you put the decal on the side. So I hit Diamond in 63 days.
That's impressive.
I made a document and like Facebook group and home events. So I made this document that kind of started spreading throughout the YPR in North Jersey and the Northeast, called How I Hit Diamond in 63 Days. And just like a bullet point of everything I did. And it's like, I watched these videos, I read these books. So that was my first exposure to, I think why it really lit me up, is my first exposure to personal development.
And so what were you doing that was different that enabled you to hit it in 63 days? That's a big part of it. You must have been working 24 hours a day or...
Yeah, I think it was just massive action.
Yeah.
Calling people, sharing the opportunity, learning the product, learning the business of network marketing, and more so sharing the business. That business expanded pretty quickly, and some of my close circle to this day are people who I met through Vima in the first 2-3 years. Some of the people in South Florida that I spend time with regularly, who are my close friends, who I love, came from being involved in an opportunity that could change your life. Right. And it did. It was life-changing. For the people, the skills that we met, and the exposure to new information to be able to think differently. So I feel like that's what really set me on my path. Then I'm getting sick of network marketing. You gotta babysit people, and it's like, listen, a lot of people, think that That's my job. So I was like, I gotta get into a new opportunity. And that's when I was actually on Craigslist. Long story short, I ended up selling solar door to door, knocking on doors, which is a crazy experience. I think everyone should do that. It's tough. You develop really important life skills in doing that. I did that for less than a year because being from New Jersey, there's 4 seasons. And when the winter and the snow came, I said, nope, I'm not knocking on doors anymore. But that really exposed me to the world of high ticket sales, because every sale I would close, it'd be like an $1,800 to $2,500 commission. And to me, that was really life changing. And I thought, but then the snow, and I feel like knocking on doors. Chapter 3, one of my friends from Vima, he posted this video online on Facebook one day about how all the water we drink is really toxic and bad for you. And I thought, oh my God, I love water. I only drink water, black coffee, and tequila. So I need to, whatever he's talking about, I need to be on this. So I watched the video, I called him, I'm like, dude, send me some of this water. Oh, that's not really how this works. I'm like, what do you mean that's not how this works? Send me the water, I'm thirsty. And that was Enagic Kangen water, which is it's actually a medical device in Japan. It's an OEM, original equipment manufacturing company, and it's a direct sales company, so you can direct sell it, and it's a really phenomenal product. We have one, we use it every day. I love it, but then there's a business opportunity on it, and so my friend Adam, he was promoting the business opportunity and leading with a lot of curiosity, and this was my first big exposure to internet marketing, because he's a really great marketer. This time period, I'm maybe 24, 25 years old. I'm flying to Florida, because he lived in Florida, and we're doing this Enagic. Enagic's the name of the company. We're doing this Enagic business. I was broke. I couldn't afford to move here at the time. We started doing the Enagic business, selling devices online. This is how I learned actually internet marketing. This is what changed my life. So I was running ads. The ads were curiosity based about testing your water, and your water is going to kill you. Not that crazy, but I started generating leads online, and then I was going to people's homes and doing a water demo, and I was lugging this big suitcase thing with all my water testing equipment. And it's a pretty compelling water demo because it exposes some of the pesticides on the fruits. Yeah, and
so you test their water at their house?
Yes. I had a concern that people might think this is a little weird. And so the whole idea is I need them to be drinking the water, drinking the Kool-Aid the whole time, lugging in 2 gallons of this water, and I'm drinking it too the whole time. I did this for a year and a half. Crazy. But it was, chapter 3, a good part of my experience.
That's hard work.
Yeah, it was hard work. I remember one time I drove from North Jersey, I drove like an hour, 20 minutes to a demo, and they no-showed me. I was so upset. I knew something was approaching. We're like, I needed to make a change. So here's another moment, network marketing, I need to make a change, but it expanded my skill set. Direct sales, door to door, the weather change, need to make a change. And then with this, I realized this is the time when I got into personal development from my chapter 1 with network marketing, exposed to Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone.
And even way back then, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grant talks about this concept of the business cycle and the sales cycle. So I realized in my water business, even though I learned a really valuable skill from my friend Adam, I was doing both the business cycle, which is market and advertise, generate a lead, sales cycle, follow up, repeat. And the sales cycle is greet, hello. Then it's qualify, then it's make a presentation, then it's close, follow up, handle objections, etc. Yeah, but then I'm like, this is crazy. I'm doing the business cycle and the sales cycle. Like, what if I could just sell the business cycle, sell the marketing and the advertising, and then enter this current chapter? So I got into the marketing agency business.
Now you're beyond marketing, right?
Yes.
So tell us what the idea was, and I know you've built up this big machine.
Yeah.
With beyond marketing.
Yes.
And how did you do that? You got the idea, but then how did you expand it? How did you see dollar signs in it and find out who to market to and come up with a product?
Yeah. So throughout my history, I guess, between selling a magic. During my time selling the water systems, I was also getting more into the online marketing from my friend originally, but then other sources. And there was a lot of, build, get to 10K a month. 10K a month marketing agency. Really easy online. There's a course. And I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Let's do that. So I signed up for that, and it's all about marketing to chiropractors.
Oh.
Or pick one, chiropractors or dentists. So I'm like, okay, chiropractors. I got into that world, and I started learning how to run ads, this, that, and the other. Now, while I was doing my water business, I actually did the math towards the end of it, like right when I ended, in between everything I spent on advertising, everything I spent on supplies, gas, everything. I literally, at the end of the day, made no money after a year and a half. So I was just like, I felt like a failure. Whenever I make a mistake too, I always look at it like, however much that cost me, that's the price of the lesson. So whatever the numbers were there, that was the price.
I've always wondered how you put together this massive marketing engine and come up with your customers and find them. And did you come up with their patients too?
Yes. Okay. So, well, I'll tell you the story of how it came to be. Okay. So, water business, I met a chiropractor through networking events, because I would go to networking events as well. One day, I was like, I need to get out of this water business, and I had no money to advertise, so I thought, let me just go prospect. Let me just cold walk in. I was used to knocking on doors. If you ever heard the expression, too much month at the end of the money. Like, I needed to make something work. I had to pay my bills. And so I literally procrastinated for 2 weeks, and then I finally worked up the courage to go to this chiropractor's office, because I had gotten into the online marketing program on how to get to 10K a month agency. And my plan was I was going to go get her as a client in Little Falls, New Jersey. And so I walk in, she's like, oh my God, Scott, hi, huggy, kiss. Let me show you around. We got this machine, we got that. I got one of the water machines, remember? You like that? I like that. So she showed me around, overjoyed, for 20 minutes.
And did you know her already then?
I just had met her at networking events.
Oh.
Let me tell you why I walked in here today, after 20 minutes of that. She said, okay. So we sit in her office, and I said, hey, I've been doing this online business for myself to sell the water devices, but now I'm going to get into the marketing agency business. And you're the first person I'm approaching, and here's the plan. And I had literally on your iPad like this, I had a pitch deck and a presentation. So you always need visual aids, I feel like. So that was something I learned in my journey. When your mouth is moving, your finger is pointing. So I made a pitch deck to basically explain how it works. I presented it to her, and she said, oh my God, Scott, you have no idea. Like, I was praying for this. Little did she know, I was praying for it too. I said, okay, it's $1,500 a month. And she said, any discounts? Can you do it any cheaper? I said, with a smile, nope. And she said, okay, come back Wednesday, I'll give you the check. I came back Wednesday, she gave me the check cleared, and that was my first client. June 2017. So that was the start of my business.
Wow, so you have been at it for a while.
So that's all my silly history. That's how I got started in the marketing agency business. Our vision for the company is to spread psychedelic and innovative healing treatments to the world. And so our mission is to empower ketamine and psychedelic centers to be their best by leveraging lead generation, business development training, and CRM software. So last year, we reached about over 6 million impressions to ketamine, TMS, alternative mental health. We generated 97,000 leads, and we had over 8,800 people enroll into alternative treatments.
Tell us a little bit more about your investments now. How is that? So you're investing in your business. You're taking most of your money and drilling it back into business. I know you told me once about expanding into real estate. So tell us a little bit more about that, what you do with as you grow your money. I
feel like I'm very good at business, and I've developed that skill over many years, and now I'm learning being an investor in 2021, 2022. I got introduced to real estate, and I always wanted to own real estate because I heard, oh, if you own real estate, you could get wealthy. And so we were just at some Tony Robbins events, and what does it mean to be wealthy? Wealth is your ability to extract the maximum amount of joy out of every moment. And now, of course, if you have passive income coming in, then who cares? Just do whatever you want. So I joined a mastermind, and this was in 2019. So one of the relationships I made introduced me to a turnkey real estate company where they were basically selling investment properties to investors.
Now, who invited you into this mastermind?
So then someone in the group introduced me to turnkey real estate, and I spoke with them and decided, hey, this sounds like a great opportunity. And I got introduced to this concept of cash on cash. And then you make a, 12-15% cash on cash. Now, to answer your question, the first investment I got into was real estate. And I ended up purchasing 7 single family homes.
Great.
Real estate, then life insurance. This took me many years to understand. When you get a life insurance policy, your money still grows while it's in the policy, and then you can take that money as a loan and do whatever you want. Yeah, so it's a really unique way to use your dollar. With that, I've taken the money out, and I actually just recently purchased a bunch of ATMs. I purchased 50 ATMs, and those are all being placed right now. So it's too early to say official that will be, but it looks very exciting. I have some money in crypto. I don't really understand crypto. So I instead moved all my crypto out of crypto and into foreign exchange currencies into an auto trader that just auto trades it. And that makes a couple of percentage points every month. But I've been invested in that for about 7 months now. So it's an auto trader. I pay a licensing fee to license the bot. Trade, it'll do Forex trades. I also invested into 2 companies, and I get a profit distribution. So that would be considered private equity. And I made 2 investments there.
Oh, wow, you've been busy.
I've been a little busy.
That's great. So how did you end up picking ketamine and the TMS? Is it?
TMS.
Yeah, TMS. How did this happen? This whole thing.
Okay, so how it happened is client number 1 from the walk-in. Client number 2, I'm like, oh, this is great. I should keep doing this. So this is 2017. So I walk into a different chiropractor's office in North Jersey, and he actually threw me out of his office. He said, get out of here. But then I injured my back, and I ended up going to him for chiropractic care. I thought, maybe he'll turn into a client. I just won't say anything. He started asking me, he's like, what's this ClickFunnels thing? And what's going on with all this? And so every visit, I'd talk more and more. And then I met his videographer. And his videographer said, Scott, you're working with Chiro? I was like, you don't want to do that. It's like, they suck, right? He said, I've got a really cool client, and I want to introduce you to them. But I'm not going to do it till June. This was December. I'm like, you're gonna keep me on the hook till June? Yeah. Well, I don't even know the reason why. I was so in June I called him. I'm like, okay. So what's good? Who's this client? And he ended up introducing me to TMS therapy. Yep. And so TMS is like the cousin of ketamine. TMS is non-psychedelic. Ketamine and MDMA and psilocybin, those are psychedelic. But a lot of clinics are integrative where they'll offer multiple. So again, just by putting myself out there, number 1, cold walk-in worked. Number 2, cold walk-in worked. And then the videographer introduced me to the industry. And the client he introduced me to didn't even become a client for 4 months, but I just saw this opportunity, and it made sense for me to seize this opportunity.
Oh, that's exciting. And then I know you've had this explosion of getting more customers. Has it been because you've made this big marketing machine online, and then you've got all these salespeople working for you now, and this big network? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it an explosion, honestly, but we're doing pretty well. We have about a little over 80 clients right now. We have 17 team members. We have a sales team of 3.
And what's a team member?
A team member could be employee or W-2. I don't know. I don't really like calling people employees, because who wants to be an employee? Yeah. So from that mix, about 10 W-2 employees and about 7 1099s.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the question?
Yeah. So I wanted to know about how this all expanded and what you did, because you have these team members, you have salespeople, and how you have this big marketing engine. So how does this all work? How did you put it all together?
Yeah, but you learn by doing. So it started with myself, and I invested in a consultant, and he taught me how to make my first system, how to make a system online using like Asana, I think it was at the time. and how to hire a VA, virtual assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through that program. I paid him, I think, either $1,500 or $2,000, which was like huge money at the time. But I thought, here's someone model success who is already successful. So he did, I think, 3 1 hour to 1.5 hour calls with me, and that was really helpful. So from there, I hired my first virtual assistant. Then I hired a salesperson / client success person. Then I hired an operations person. And I didn't know anything about hiring. I didn't know anything about management. I just started hiring people and selling. My what I love most in the business is building things, innovating, and sales. Now, like this week, so I've been traveling for 4 weeks this whole year. And so I've been traveling and vacationing more than I've been working.
You're talking about 2024.
24. Yeah, I keep going like this with the timelines. Yeah. Sorry about that. I hope you're keeping track. 2024. Yeah, I'm so impressed now with what the team is doing. And I think a big part about building a successful team is to lead by example. So even today, there was something that we spoke about, and I just started implementing this recently. We follow a process called EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System, by Gino Wickman. So this is like how to run your whole company. And look, it's big font. Even if you can't read, it's easy. So we've been implementing this, and this has been super helpful. One of our core values is be a problem solver. So there will always be issues and problems, but how do we communicate with clarity and solve them and move forward?
Okay. And then now, do your team members come up with a lot of ideas on their own, or do you just have phone calls together? I mean, how have they helped you expand your business?
I don't think there's a single silver bullet. I think it's just if you could do everything just a little bit better each day. You go work here. Let's say you really work on sales over here, and then a lot of new sales come in, and then operations break, and then you're really working on operations, and then the sales pipeline's driving up. So then you got to go work there, and then vice versa. But I'm really impressed and proud of my team because they take initiative. They are strategic thinkers, and they make a lot of really great things happen. My role, I play a part in that, in tweaking it and pushing it forward, and setting deadlines and getting in the weeds with them and showing, okay, hey, let's do this, or hey, that doesn't make sense, let's do this. You have to remember that not everyone thinks like you, which is interesting because my social circle, everyone's entrepreneurs and employs people. And sometimes it's not the same with your employees. And so it's all about, having grace and having empathy, patient. And I would never ask someone to do something that I wouldn't do.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
If someone doesn't know how to do something, I'll do it with them. I'll show them. But then the expectation is, if this is part of your job, now you go do it.
Yeah.
Now, if you need help, I'll help you. If you don't know the way, I'll show you the way. But there's plenty that I don't know. I'm not the best at I'm not a good client-facing person. We have an amazing client success team. They're amazing, and that's their role. We have a medical professional on our team who can advise on everything medical. I don't know how to do it, but I know how to put together systems. I know how to put together marketing. I know how to put together sales. Important role I read that a CEO is responsible for is the communication cadence in their business. And so this book has been super helpful. EOS, and EOS stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System.
So we'll look forward to hearing back from you some more in the future about some of these investments you're doing, and advice about how they're going, and like that.
Yeah, and then one of the cool things with the real estate is doing cost segregation studies, and that is where and it's actually an engineering firm will go in, and they will basically break apart. Here's the walls, here's the toilet, here's the grass, here's this, here's that, and they cost segregate out all the expenses of a property, and you can deduct it on your taxes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that. I did the ERC though and got some money back. And when they were amending my taxes, they said, "Hey, you didn't do a cost segregation study on your properties." So the IRS
is huge,
IRS moves really quickly. But I am anticipating a large sum of money back from the IRS, which is technically an overpayment. It's technically an overpayment from 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's quite a look back.
Yeah, quite a look back, but that's one of the main benefits of real estate is having the tax advantages because you get the paper loss deduction.
Okay, great. So can you give us any idea Any idea of revenues or whatever growth?
Yeah, so during COVID, we went from about 500,000 to 1.3 million.
In revenues?
Yeah, then we went from 1.3 to 2 million. Then we went 2 to 2.1, and then last year we did about 2.24 million.
That's great.
Unfortunately, my profit has gone down every year. I made a lot of mistakes last year, and this year I'm running my business much more like a business, less like a charity. There was people and departments that should have been cut way sooner, and to be honest, I felt bad. But I learned an expensive lesson through less profit that has no place in looking at a P&L. I mean, if someone's not performing or a department is not performing or you're not looking closely enough at your overhead, it can add up and eat away. And so I had my eye off the ball a little bit, and I was a little off my game last year on that. But this year, we're already on track to be significantly more profitable.
Yeah, how many people would like to be bringing in 2.2 million per year?
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, it's not what you bring in; it's what you keep.
Yeah, what you keep. Oh, okay. So that's what you're keeping right now? I mean,
No.
Okay, I was gonna say that.
That's the bottom line. That's the top line.
Yeah.
The bottom line is all about what you keep. And so I made those mistakes last year, and I'm prepared to not make them again.
It's all
this year.
learning, yes. Well, this has been exciting. This is a great start. Thank you so much, Scott. It was great.
Thank you,
spending time with
Lynn.
you today.
You're amazing. I appreciate it.
And I look forward to hearing more about your next steps and more things that our viewers can learn. And thank you so much for joining us here today. And please put comments about questions you have for Scott or for me. Do you want to share any social media?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Scott Theaman91, and that's where you can find me. That's where I'll be.
And anything else? Do you have a website or anything you want to share?
Sure, you can check out beyondmarketing.net, www.beyondmarketing.net, learn about what we're doing, keep up with us, and it'd be great to interact with you guys.
If you could give this video a thumbs up in return for my efforts bringing this information to you, it would be greatly appreciated. And while you're at it, subscribe. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love hearing from you. Also, make sure and go here and sign up for our newsletter so that you could receive updates. And next, go here to look at our latest videos.